Hello everybody, this is Diane. Today my grandsons are here doing their computer school, and I don't normally do videos while they're here doing that. I don't want to distract them. They're in separate rooms and my door is shut, so it should be okay. But today I'm going to be making the spine, putting these covers together for these golden books. And this one was already done, and it has a flexible spine. So someone asked me to show how I make the flexible spine. I do have a video showing how I made this when I did it before, when I did this book actually, I believe. So, or I made this cover a while ago. But I figured I have to make these covers today, so I would just go ahead and do it on camera since it was requested. So what these are, obviously, are little golden books, and I have the covers decorated. Just set these signatures aside, we don't need them right now. And what I use to make the flexible spine is the hanging file folders. It seems more bendable and pliable, I guess, than the regular file folders. It just seems like it would hold up better. I don't know that for sure, but this is what I use. So I have 2-inch pieces cut. I wanted my spine to be 2 inches, so they're cut to 2 inches plus the height of the book. I also have some Tyvek pieces cut, and these came from a Tyvek envelope, and this is very sturdy stuff. It's like a plastic paper. So let's start with this one. First of all, I'm going to make sure the end papers are glued down pretty well. That one's alright. I did have to glue, I think I had to add some glue to this one because it was lifting up. So they look pretty good. And I'm going to just apply some red line tape to all of my edges. I think that the Fabri-Tac glue would be okay for doing this, but I always use the red line tape. It's the way I do it, and that's what I'm comfortable doing. If you don't have this tape, then go ahead and do it with your Fabri-Tac. The only thing I don't like about using the red line glue or tape, especially on camera, is lifting the backing off. It always seems to give me more trouble if I'm filming, of course. So I'm just putting it on the edge of each cover and all around the perimeter of the spine. If I burnish it down, then the adhesive should stick better as I try to lift up the backing. There we go. It's cold today. We've had cold weather and some snow and sleet this week. It was snowing when I got up today, but by the time I went to pick the boys up, it had stopped snowing, but there was snow on the roads in some places, but it's not too bad. But it is cold. I used to like winter. I don't like it so much anymore. I guess that means I'm getting old. Okay, so I have my adhesive on all of this edges that I need it to be on. I use my grid to just line everything up straight. With a little bit of a gap in between the covers and the spine so that the spine can open and close smoothly. Okay, everything looks lined up well, and I have my Tyvek piece. Let me see if I cut it too big. I think I'm going to trim a little bit off of that because I don't need it to be that wide. I just need it to span the cover and extend a little bit beyond the tape. Span the spine, I meant to say. And press it down good. Okay, so now there's the flexible spine. Now we just have to make it look pretty. I already selected some fabrics. There's a lot of blue and yellow, and I wanted to bring out more blue than yellow because that whole background is yellow, so I think I like that. I think I'll go with this one. Just going to cut it to the height that I need, the length. This is a little more than I need, but don't want to cut it too short. You know, you can always cut off more if you need to. And now I need to cut it to the right width. And for this, I want it to cover the Tyvek, of course. So I just go slightly beyond the Tyvek. I want it to be able to go onto the cover enough that it's not just a little tiny strip that won't stay glued down, if you know what I mean. So I think I'll do that. Hang on just a second. Okay, he's all right. Sorry, I had to check on Ted. I heard a loud noise, and sometimes if his computer is giving him trouble, he gets mad and thumps. So I was just checking to make sure he wasn't having any trouble. He's right next door, in the room next door to me. Actually, this edge isn't cut even. So I'm gonna see if I can tear it. No, I'm gonna do a whole different strip. I want to make sure that it's right. So these are both torn edges. They should be torn straight, I think. Nope. So that's the one I just tore. Yeah, this is cut too. So I'm gonna use this edge, and then I should have something straight. Okay, now we have a nice straight piece. And now I just have to glue it down. So basically I make the I'm going to put this side on the outside because there's a flaw here. It doesn't show up much, but that'll be mostly on the inside. I make the flexible spine covers pretty much the same as I do the chipboard covers. It's just I replace the chipboard with the file folder. Yeah, there's the flaw. It won't tear through that. And I do have raw edges on fabrics when I tear it, of course, frayed edges, but I almost always cover them with some sort of ribbon or trim or rickrack or something. Sometimes I want the look of the frayed fabric, but on these I brought some trims over with me so we can select something. Okay, I'm ready to glue this down. I think this is the fun part for me. Well, one of the fun parts. Choosing the fabrics and the trims to decorate the covers. I just love doing this. That was my favorite part about sewing clothing, was finding fabric to go with the pattern that I had, and especially if I had to coordinate some fabrics together. I did not like cutting the pieces out, pinning on the pattern, and cutting out the pieces. See, I don't like the tedious prep work. But it's necessary, and it's necessary to do it properly. But my favorite part was selecting the pattern and the fabric. It's probably my daughter's checking in to see how the boys are doing. When she's on her break, she checks in. But I'm doing a video. I should have sent her a text before I started so she could at least know that I had them and they're in school and everything is going well. That's okay. I'll text her when I'm done here. Okay, now let's pick out a trim. I got these trims in my Happy Mail just the other day, and I was hoping I could use one of them on the Golden Book journals, but I don't know if they're the right colors. This one could work. I really wanted to use these bright ones, but they're not the right colors, I don't think. Let's try this one. That could work. It's got yellow and blue in it. In fact, I think I like that. And maybe I could use this one for the Mother Goose one. Yeah, let's use that. That's the same text. If I don't answer it or open it in 2 minutes, I get the notification again. If you saw this fabric and this trim, you would probably never put them together, but because of all the colors on the cover, I think it works. Now, I don't know if I want to put end papers on here. There's some scribbling on this, so I might want to put some end papers on there. And I didn't pick something out. That looks good. So I want the end paper to be five and 3/4 or 5 1/2. Five and a half will work by 7 and almost 8. Let's check the height on that. Perfect. And then just glue this down. I used to do this with the red line tape too, but I just use the Fabri-Tac and it works just fine. Because the red line tape isn't cheap. Of course, neither is Fabri-Tac, but I think the Fabri-Tac goes further. I don't normally cover the end papers on golden books, but sometimes I do if they're messed up. Or in the case of the robots, that one wasn't messed up, but I wanted to have a whole robot theme going in that journal. Whoop. Actually, that was a little, it's hanging off the edge there a little bit. Okay, so that cover is done. Ready for me to sew signatures into it. Shall we do the Mother Goose one? I have to do it anyway, so you can stay tuned if you want to see it again. I was thinking this morning, actually, before I went to get the boys, about all the supplies I have, because I really am serious about wanting to have fewer supplies and fewer storage containers in my small rooms, because it does become overwhelming and hard to work on a project, I think, when you have so many choices, actually. And yet I like having all the choices. But anyway, I was thinking about some of the themes that I've been collecting for and thought, are there any that I can just sell? Like, take my whole collection and sell it to someone who wants to make a journal out of it, so that I have fewer journals on my list. So are there things that I don't really care if I make a journal? I really want to do journals without themes. Like these little golden books are just eclectic. They don't have a theme, really. The Mother Goose one has more of a theme. The robots definitely had a theme, but Mother Goose one has a sort of a theme because I'm using some Mother Goose images, but there's a lot of eclectic stuff too. So anyway, it's a long story, right? I'm trying not to talk too loud so I don't disturb Teddy, who's in the very next room. So I thought, well, I did owls. I already made several owl journals, and it would be okay if I just sold what I have collected. I have quite a bit. And then I checked my digital files for sets that I had purchased, and I have a really nice owl digital set. I have Mrs. Cog's cards, which I used before, but I also have from Elsie Bell's bookshelf, I have an owl digital kit that has pages. I bought it a long time ago, but I haven't used it. So I don't want to get rid of my owl ephemera because I want to use the kit that I bought, you know? So I think I'm just going to kind of alternate between doing a themed journal and an unthemed journal. But I will be getting rid of more stash. Hopefully before I've got time now before flea markets start, because I've already put in my shop all of the flea market stuff, except for maybe a few books. But I am going to do, I think my next bunch of things that I put in my shop will be books and book covers. And I'll probably have to go through my books again just to see if I can weed out any more. It's so hard because every cover I look at, I have an idea for what I want to do, or if I don't even have an idea for it, I just love the cover and I want an idea for it. But it's really impossible for me to make that many journals. And I do make a lot of journals. I know I have time to make a lot of journals. Oh, here's my tie back. Okay. When your hand sticks to the tape and messes everything up. We're so close. I forgot I cut this one the same size as the first piece, and then I didn't trim any of it off. This will be jagged, but it's okay because it'll be covered. Okay, now I have a piece picked out for this one. I think I want to use that. I think that's perfect. It's got the pale blue and the pinks and some darker blue. Okay, is this a straight edge? Looks like it is, but maybe not quite. I'm going to tear it so I can get it straight. Doesn't tear as nicely if you're just tearing a skinny piece off. Sorry. for some reason. I really want to do the shoes theme journal and the weather. I don't know if you knew I was saving for weather, but I have the Mrs. Coggs Stormy Weather set, which I have loved. When I first was introduced to Mrs. Coggs, that's one of the first journals I saw her make, was something with rain and umbrellas and stuff like that. And I loved it, so I've been saving things for that. So the shoes and the weather are ones that I'm really itching to get to do. I have Mrs. Coggs shoes too. Mrs. Coggs has something for everything, I think. O'clock. Which just made me think of the nursery rhyme that is on a page in this book. A diller, a dollar, a 10 o'clock scholar. What makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock, but now you come at noon. I'm covering up the N on Mother Goose. M. Did I say N? M. And I don't think I will cover the end papers here. These are in very good shape. No marks at all. But I might be able to put this trim here. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I raveled it. Make sure all those little threads are glued down. I'll put that part on the bottom of this. Guess it doesn't matter what side is front and which is back. They're both the same. There. 2 covers ready to go. Oh, gotta cover that raw edge because I didn't put an end paper on it. I brought over some rickrack. I like that one, but I know there's not enough of it there. That blue-gray is nice. Today's Wednesday. The video that went up on my channel today was showing the gorgeous trims that I got from Boho Tree and Boho Daydreams. So beautiful, and I can't wait to do a project with them. Hopefully they will last me a good long time. There's a lot there, and I just want to use little pieces at a time of different trims. But I don't want to be too stingy with it either. Just want to use it. That's what I bought it for. So I hope you're excited to get to see that, some of that stuff in some projects. I haven't been going shopping at the craft stores for a couple of reasons, and the main one being that I don't need anything. And I used to go to get adhesives, but I've just been ordering that online mostly. You know, with the pandemic, that's what you had to do. And I just kept doing it, so I don't really need anything, but I do want to go to Hobby Lobby when they have cutting mats like this on half price. I can't clean it anymore. I scrub and scrub and scrub. Both sides are a mess now. There, now both covers are done. I'll have to put a book plate on it on the front and maybe a pocket on the back, but that's something I'll look at later. And I have my signatures completed, I believe, so I can sew them in. And this one's already sewn in, so there we go. We're getting there. Alright, I'm gonna go and make sure the boys are doing okay, and I will be back for the next video, and have a creative day today. Bye-bye.